Welcome back to Do It with Darryl. Today, we're over here at JR Marine and we're gonna jump right in and get started building out the new pod. We got a call this morning from the guys. All the pieces are cut and ready for assembly. So let's get in there and check it out. Today started with a bit of prep work. While Aiden and Bailey were removing the last bit of Sikaflex that remained on the transom, Jared, Jevin, and I quickly discussed the plans for next week.
So we want to get the pod tacked together, so that we take that off as well when we weld it. So essentially we want to get everything assembled, and then once it's all assembled and structural, then we'll take everything off the boat, get the part out, put it on the floor, weld it, flip it, weld it, flip it, grind it, weld it, sand it out, and then it'll go back down in, and then we ferret in, because there's a couple little spots on the cutting that I wasn't happy with. The pod will be a whole.
I think so too.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's when that goes together, you're like, oh my god, it's like extending the load.
Yeah.
It looks really fantastic. There's a lot of visual. Yeah, but that's the point. You guys are strong.
Since Ryan had the pieces for the pod already cut, Jared could walk us through.
Hey, so we're putting the pod on today. Pretty exciting. So we got a couple pieces here to put together. This is gonna be the bottom hull for the pod extension. And come with me. Okay. So this is the piece that's gonna bolt to the transom. We'll bolt that on there, then we'll build the pod off of that. So we start with that getting on there, and then we'll put the hull, the extension of the hull skin on there, and go off of that, and then build the structure off of there. Because we want this to be super strong, this is 1/4 inch 50/86. Yeah, the whole pod's 50/86 with the exception of the top, which would be 50/52. And so basically your 50/52, you can bend a lot easier, sharper radiuses and all that. The 50/86 works really great with the hull. Lots of structure, bigger bend radiuses if you do want to bend it, and more corrosion resistance.
Listening to Jared describe the benefits of using this thicker 50/86 gave me great confidence in the strength of this new design.
So Aiden's just working on taking the last little pieces. There were some through holes on here and cleaning that up before we'll temporarily screw it on there. Because it's got a fiberglass transom, we can't weld to it. So, it's always easier. One of the things about welding that we always try to teach everybody is like, put yourself in the easiest position. So if you can take something off and weld it in an easier position, you're gonna get a better weld rather than trying to do up hands when you don't need to do all that kind of stuff. So,
While the guys finished up the last of their prep, I was more than happy to check out the inside while I waited. It felt so much bigger. I could easily picture how this was going to finish out, and it was so exciting. After lifting the screw jacks just a little, Aiden and Bailey temporarily removed the center blocking underneath the keel. They positioned some square stock aluminum under the keel to create a straight edge, like a giant ruler. So right now, we're just lining up this square piece of aluminum, and that's gonna follow the hull. So we're just jacking it up, put some pressure on it, and it's gonna follow the V in the whole hull. And that's gonna give us a measurement point when we're actually fitting the new pod to that beam, so we know where it's gonna sit. It's very important. So we've got the piece of wood, or the piece of aluminum here coming out of the transom. And then again, we've just bottle jacked it up. So the guys are gonna be able to use this point as a measurement point for the new pod to come off of. You wanna make sure that the angle on the pod to the transom is correct and it's not lifting the boat like a trim tab. Since we had extended the cabin to make it a more all-weather West Coast machine, we also needed to increase the size of the pod. Aiden holds the center rib support roughly in place to have a look. We're trying to get here.
1/2 inch at the very, very back is the most we want to go. Yeah, so a little much. That's just how Sam calculated how much we should have the pod lifted up. On our little boats, we do a 1/4 inch, but obviously that pod's only 2 feet. But this is a pretty big pod. I think we did another one and I did 3/4 of a lift because it was a wide square boat.
Of course, this will also support the new twin engines that we'll be running. Let us know in the comments below what outboards we should put on Dinghy 2.0. Bailey moves the transom plate over to the work table for some measurements. Center lines are scribed on the new plate that will get bolted to the stern of the boat. Next, Aiden tapes and marks the corresponding lines on the transom of the boat. Okay, we've marked out the center line on the boat itself, right here and down at the bottom. So we've marked out that center line. We're gonna put the metal piece on, and then from the inside, we're gonna mark some drill holes so we can get it mounted. After a quick dry fit, we determined that the holes for the scuppers needed a small adjustment. Jared quickly ground them out to fit perfectly. There we have it. The back plate is on. Next, using the existing bolt holes in the transom as a starting point, we drilled through the new plate and temporarily bolted it to the stern. This will easily provide enough support for us to continue with the construction of the pod. Next time, we're gonna finish building out the pod and give you a sneak peek at what's coming in the weeks ahead. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really, really helps. And I'll see you next Saturday on a new episode of Do It with Darryl.